tonight's topic. If he pops in, he'll definitely keep us on topic because he's interested and he doesn't know what he's talking about. But he's a very smart dude, so I hope he comes in.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea what Jay's talking about. He's crackers over there.
Oh, I didn't even know we were already up.
No, you gotta watch the button, man. You gotta watch the button, man. Damn. Anyway, welcome everyone to UFO Undercover.
I hope he listens to us.
Yeah. So, no, Jay, no, he's talking about somebody who might step by. No, welcome to UFO Undercover. Hope everybody is having a good morning, good afternoon, great afternoon, great morning, great nighttime, great early morning, whatever the time it is of the day, wherever you happen to be on our big, beautiful blue planet. I hope you're having a good time. If you're over there in Australia and you're snoring right now, hey, more power to you. Snoring's good, man. It clears the sinuses. No, actually, we're quite a few things we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to kick off with this. Well, this is actually a story for Friday or Saturday, but
it's a trailer. It's a teaser. It's a teaser promo.
Yeah, so we're going to show you something that we're going to be getting in depth on. And Jay and I have gotten in depth. We're working on a new theory. It's actually a little more than a theory at this point. But anyway, we're working on it. And this just gave us food for thought. Actually, it just added to the whole thing. So if you see this, let me see. You know what? Let me change this. Let me do this a different way. Yeah, come here. Good SOBs. What's that, Johnny? No. Hold on. I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to drop this and put it on full screen because that's aggravating trying to watch it that way. Well, when I can see it from the other screen, so it's easy for me to see, but y'all are the ones that couldn't see it.
It gets smaller when it goes through StreamYard. Yeah.
So now look at this.
Hang on. Let's make it even bigger. If I can get that thing to work, this screen is set. There we go.
Yeah, oh, there you go. Okay. Jay, read them. Jay's going to read this to y'all. I know y'all can read, but it's better for the host to read it.
All right. Astronomers discovered a reservoir of water vapor 12 billion light years away containing 140 trillion, that's with a T, trillion times as much water as all of Earth's oceans combined, surrounding a quasar that releases as much energy as 1,000 trillion of our suns. Very cool.
So when you get into the numbers of this is staggering.
140 trillion times.
Yeah, plus 1,000 trillion times more energy. So right here, you've got 1,000 trillion times more energy than our sun produces, which means that's a 1,000 trillion stars that they could put 140 trillion planets around and fill with water because of this vapor around this. Nobody knows how this thing. No, Reed. Nobody really understands. See, there it is, right there. That's what.
There's a quasar. Yeah,
that's the one we're talking about. This is the cloud of water or vapor right here, and that's the quasar going through it.
So and this is from the Hubble or the other one?
I think it's from James. Let's see. Oh no, this is artist concept. No, this is artist concept. Yeah. Okay, I just seen the thing as it came up.
Probably so this, it's very pretty.
Yeah, it's there. What do you mean we didn't have to tell you it was artist concept?
No, we didn't. Actually.
Bobby, the point is we always try to distinguish what's AI, what's artist concept, what may be CGI, and what may be real. The point is because you need to know.
Yeah.
Well, because it's really nice, and it would be really nice if
I'll bet you James Webb would get a good picture of it.
Let's see. The same account said quasar releases much energy as both comparisons are grounded in published observations. Reservoirs discuss gas spread across hundreds of light years. This
not a liquid. It says not a liquid ocean in the caveat, but you bring that closer to Earth and condense that, and it will turn into liquid, and then maybe half of
that would drown our whole solar system. Yeah, I mean, you can put a whole solar system there and drown them.
Trillion oceans. I mean, Jesus Christ.
No, people, y'all don't get this. You could take this whole quadrant of our solar system and stick it inside of that cloud and drown them. The whole thing, stars, suns, everything would fit in there. Nah, it ain't gonna affect the sun. It'll put the suns out. I know, ain't that just a scary thought? Well, it's fighting a quasar and it's keeping it under control, which means the yellow star ain't gonna be squat.
But when that water vapor burns away, as it probably is, and maybe hundreds of billions of years from now, that quasar will eventually go to its next phase and destroy the area.
Unless somehow all liquefies and just like when you put a magnesium thing in the water and it keeps boiling until it hits the ground, snuffs and pops. It's
puts itself out.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe the vapor barrier would create like a greenhouse effect that to eventually like they do with an oil rig fire. They put an explosion next to it, and fire versus fire to put it out. Maybe it'll get so hot that it puts itself out. You don't know.
So wait, this thing is 12 billion years old.
Yeah, I saw that number.
Wow, people. I mean, it's
Roughly
just big at 12 billion.
years.
I can only imagine if it's getting bigger or smaller is what I'd like to know.
Yeah, we'd have to observe it for thousands of years, I would think.
Yeah, because it's so big. Average water abundance is 1.4 water molecules for every 10 million molecules of hydrogen. What does that got to mean? What the fuck does that mean? Beep, beep, beep. Sorry. No, I'm just.
I guess you're trying to figure out how to try to tell you how they figured out the amount of vapor that's there.
Let's see. It's 100,000 times the mass of our sun. It's just a monstrous JPL. Originally announced, describing and the gas extended in hundreds of light years around the center of the black hole, and had estimated temperatures near 53 degrees Celsius. Wow, really?
Hey Google, what's 53 degrees Celsius in
Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit?
It's minus 53 degrees Celsius, so that's probably close.
Oh, hey Google, what is minus 53 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
Probably about the same.
Minus 53 degrees Celsius is minus 63.4
minus 63.
I noticed once you break zero, the Celsius numbers get closer. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jimmy. It just does. You'd have to ask somebody, a mathematician, because I don't really know.
I think the reason is because of condensation. The colder you get, the harder it is to, make it all solid. So more temperature, the more energy it takes to make that frozen thing frozen. That's, I think, the reason. Mm-hmm. As you burn things, they burn away faster. The hotter it gets, the faster it burns away. The exact opposite is true of ice. To make it bigger, it takes longer for it to freeze to a larger size because of, I don't know the mechanics behind it. A chemist would.
This thing is 1,800 light years across. That's monstrous, people. That's 10% of the way to the damn.
It's as big as our galaxy. That vapor cloud. It's as long as our galaxy.
It is. It's big. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm pretty sure. 140 trillion miles wide, or how long was it?
100 trillion. It's 140 trillion oceans. I think it was 100. It's close to the size of a galaxy. It gives you the distinct impression. You could take our galaxy by its toes and dip it into the. Yeah, and drown us off.
Our galaxy would probably consume it as a resource. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely fascinating.
Well, no, Jesse. It's actually inside of a galaxy, but it's condensed. Yeah, at the moment, it's condensed. I can't tell you what it's going to be anytime. 1,000 years from now, 1,000,000 years from now.
If it's been there for 12 billion years, it's probably going to be there another 12.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It don't show any signs of slowing down from what they said. Yeah. No, it's a cool little article, but it helps with the theories. We one of the reasons we bring this up is we want people to understand that there can be water in space. It doesn't have to be frozen. Small amounts of water will freeze. Small amounts of water will freeze quickly. But so put it this way: an ocean the size of the Pacific will take probably 100,000 years to freeze through. And within 10,000 years, it would have an outer crust on it. But even under these conditions, from what I understood recently from reading, it wouldn't even start forming a crust for probably a couple of thousand years because it would still be too warm and moving around too much. As it started to gel and become a ball and started to radiate a little less, then
even after it's solid, the water side will still be going like that. It's still
it's still. Oh no, they said that
if there's life in it, it's always going to move.
Yeah, so
Right.
they're saying that no, it's no, it took at least 100,000 years for it to freeze. The Pacific. Now, wait a minute, Jack, you're not listening. That's the Pacific. This thing is 100. Well, actually, it would be more than that. So it's 140 trillion times larger than all the water on Earth, not just the Pacific, all
the
of it.
whole thing, all
So
of it.
just imagine this thing gets away and or gets heated up a little bit. It turns liquid. Now you got this. It's no telling what could be in there. There's just no telling what
You
could
have
be in
a
there.
galaxy-sized ball of water.
And what you have to wonder is where did it come from? What made this? This is water vapor. This is just regular water vapor. It's nothing special.
How far away was this quasar from us?
Oh, I forget now. What is a good ways? It's like going.
I don't think it's too very far away, but if it's been there for 12 billion years, it's quite feasible. We've been postulating, where did the water come from that hit our galaxy or hit our Earth, made the flood? Maybe some of it burned off and broke away from that, and the trajectory hit our solar system. I don't know if that's possible, but it's not out of the realm of possibility for sure.
It's definitely not out of the realm of possibility.
No, absolutely not.
No, Dean, it said, let me see if I can find it again. No, it said how far away it was. Yeah, I think it's in a different galaxy, but well, if anybody's got a computer, it is the quasar is APM 08279 plus 5255. That's the quasar itself.
It's official documentation name.
Yeah, it's designation. Let's see. The same account said quasar releases much as yeah. Sorry, guys, I hate when I do that. Hawaii Observatory covered 13 nights. Yeah, we're glad for you. The light from the system has traveled for roughly 12 billion years. It's a long ways away from us.
Yeah. All right, so maybe it didn't come from there, but that makes the possibility of free-floating water ice.
So Jesse,
100% possible.
That means this thing is only a billion and a half years younger than the galaxy. I mean, the universe. That water's been there for the majority of the universe's life. That's what is that like? It must be just a reservoir that maybe the galaxy keeps it for when there's a new planet around. All right, send some water to K977 over there and Alpha Centauri. Let's get them going now. Yeah, just break off a chunk and heat it as we go.
Yeah, so that's when some rogue comet or rogue meteorite splashes through that vapor belt, picks up a couple of oceans of water, and then impacts some poor unsuspecting planet that's melting.
It's the mice that orders that. You don't know. You see guys, they got these mice and they order all this stuff. So they just order up the guy. He goes over there with this giant ball thing and just scoops up a big, about half the size of a planet, brings it back, opens it up, drops it on the planet, and there you go. That's from asshole. It's from Galaxy. That's not from Galaxy of the Guardians, you idiot. No. Now you may forget the name of it.
Colleen brings up a good point. That vapor barrier and that quasar, being that we're seeing the light from 12 billion years ago, it may no longer be there. So
that's
that
possible.
that water we're looking at, we might be swimming in.
It's possible.
Think about that.
No, James, it's Hitchhiker's Guide. It's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe, stupid. Yes, that's what I was talking about. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's okay. I know.
And unfortunately, Joe and I are your guides.
That's right. What are you talking about? Oh no, most of that stuff you see on the Facebook page is for Friday Night Show. Yeah. Well, no, there's some stuff on there. There's some.
Could be a good show Friday.
Yeah, they got some pretty good shit on there, and of course we got some AOC thing I posted. Everybody seems to get a kick out of.
Oh God, the one you posted with her saying how cool she is or whatever.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's it. That's it. And then we got new poll stats. We got for real poll stats out for the economy and stuff like that. No more of those fake NBC, ABC polls. We got the real deal.
Oh, good, because they're such liars.
It's what I'm telling you, we got a lot of good stuff. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about, of course, in some of the election results. You know, it's weird, and I don't want to get into this, but I noticed the other day, everybody Trump's endorsed has won. I keep hearing how blue this, blue that, but every time I turn around, no. So far, Jimmy, on his Senate picks, he's 100%. On all of his picks, he's 100% right now. And in the ones that are in the field right now for the primaries, he's 100% on that too. I think the Dems better pay attention. I don't think it's what they think it is. But anyway, I don't pay. Well, I don't think I have anybody to vote for in this election. Yeah, I said probably won't. So getting into what we're supposed to be talking about, which I keep getting off subject on. Somebody asked me the other day, what kind of real evidence is there for proof of extraterrestrials in the past?
Yeah.
Now, I mean, there's a lot of stuff we can get into. Now, we have limited time, but we're going to just jump you back 5,850 years. There you go. Okay, this is the time the Sumerians were really like, whoa. The Mesopotamians were like, whoa. The Egyptians were coming up from their, I guess, second evolution, which the reason I say that is before anybody asks is because we already have predated the Sphinx back 15,000 years. So as far as I'm concerned, the pyramids and what's there today is the second evolution of Egypt or whoever the hell it was. No, we ain't gonna argue about the pyramids. Maybe some more older, but a lot of them are been in the last 2,000 or 3,000 years, 4,000 years. So regardless, those three races were there. These three races talk about extraterrestrials like we talk about them on television. It's amazing how much text talks about. So this is what's weird, though, Jack. Who is it? I'm sorry, Sandy. This is one of the things. Hey, Colleen. Hey, Heidi. One of the weird things about it is the Greys don't seem to be talked about until just before the time of Christ. About 1,000 years, maybe a little
about
less.
the turn of the century-ish. Yeah.
It was somewhere. I would say, to be perfectly blunt about this, Jesse, I'd have to go get the hieroglyph and look at it. But I'm thinking it was between right, really close, within 500 one way or 200 years the other way.
It was Tutmos the fourth or Tutmos the fifth or sixth. I think it's somewhere because Tutmos is like the great grandfather of Akhenaten and King Tut, who were said to have been alien creatures.
Why do I think? Okay, there's a couple of reasons why. One, the Egyptians had that weird disease, that elongated head disease, which sounds like the human type alien. I mean, it just sounds like a human type alien.
There's no argument that you can make about headboarding that can make the volume of the brain double in size.
Yeah,
these creatures had heads twice our size, brains 2 times bigger, and they didn't go this way; they went that way.
Yeah, it was weird.
This way, so you see remember the blue lady in The Fifth Element, the singer, the opera singer, when she turns her, she's got that big balloon off the back. That's a little exaggerated, but that's essentially what you're looking at.
Yeah,
you can't double the size of the brain by squishing our own. It just doesn't happen. So it's weird.
They look just like us. Well, they're a little bigger than us. They have 6 fingers, 6 toes, and they have
6 fingers, 6 toes.
And from what I hear, their organs are different than ours. But
I think they have the same layout with the configuration with 2 extra organs that we don't know what they are, and then also allegedly they have 2 rows of teeth, top and bottom. So they got double the set of chompers.
Jack the Gray said that bipedals are the second most prolific species in this galaxy, and they specifically said this galaxy, which means life forms are going to vary.
In other galaxies, it's different.
Yeah, and he said second, something about an Aryan type group. There's more of them than there are of us, meaning bipeds. Yeah, no telling. I don't know. I'm not out there. How can I tell you that? That's just something the Greys talk about.
Coming into this information, it's a slow trickle down theory, and we don't have enough to give you solid answers. But between Joe and I, we have 80 years experience looking into this, so you're getting the best educated guess you can get.
Yeah, not including
that's what you're getting, and you're going to get that from Giorgio and the late Mr. Daniken and all the other guys before him and after him, they're all just guessing based off the information that we have received.
Mike, everybody starts out in good faith. David Icke started out in good faith, and then David Icke got popular.
And a little weird.
So we were somewhere. I just got into the field. I was not trying to get into ufology. I was doing investigation work for MUFON, but I wasn't trying to get into ufology. That's why when they offered me the radio show from Wake Up USA, I was kind of like, what? But there was a couple of times. When I was doing, when they were trying to push me into it, people get nasty about ufologists. They do, and they get nasty with each other. And I'm thinking to myself, it was weird to me.
And the cryptozoologists, they also get nasty with each other. Yeah. They're not friendly either.
And a lot of these guys are kind of hero worship, so it's kind of like, what the fuck? I mean, be even what to blame. Anyway, you get these people who don't like you getting into their theories or getting into their stuff. They get upset, but they all have the same problem. They start out with all this good research and they give you this good stuff, and then they don't have anything, but they have to stay relevant, especially if you're doing this for a living. So one of the more famous cases, not Eric and Van Daniken, Billy Meyer. Billy Meyer was one of those cases. Billy Meyer is a good case. There's good, solid information there. And then all of a sudden he started hoaxing. Then he started talking about what the alien said. And then as time progressed, the alien stuff got worse and crazier and worse and crazier. And he got more godlike. Same thing happened with Whitley Strieber.
Yeah.
If you go back, or
got a little weird also.
Or in Whitley's case, he's making his son the Messiah. But regardless, they start believing their press.
Well, I remember particularly with Billy Meyer. I remember when he started faking them, because when they first came out, before I knew that they were from him, like at first glance when you see the picture, I'm like, oh man, that's a really, really good fake. And then you read the caption, taken by Billy Meyer. I'm like, oh wow, well, that can't be a fake because it's Billy Meyer.
Oh, I remember.
So like for a decade, everyone thought those really cool like high res. We didn't have high res. He was taking film pictures, but he took some really, really we would call high res images of UFO technology. We thought, because they left him, they stopped visiting him, and he was no longer making the money he needed to survive. So that's what he was doing that for. Yeah, but it fooled the whole community for at least a decade. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're the ones that busted it. So a friend of mine called me up. A friend of mine calls me up. He goes, Joe, this guy Michael Horn's representing Billy Myers. I said, okay. He said, didn't you say like a couple of those photos were fake? I said, yeah, and I'll show you which one. So we got together, got hold to what's his name? Not Lear, McAfee to go over the pictures. Then we had somebody else go over the pictures. And then a friend of ours who was one of the design creators for Disney went over the pictures. They all came up with the same conclusion that the pictures had been faked. And they went through it, and this was the best part about the faking. All four groups that looked at them all gave the exact reasons why they thought it was a fake, exactly the same.
Because it was a model.
There was an obviously fake is how they looked at it. He said, maybe not to the untrained eye. He said, to anybody who's done this was an obvious fake. And then, then
right away they were fakes, but Maccabee, after Maccabee and all them did that analysis, it was like, well, wow. But before then, it was an automatic given. It was Billy Meyer. We didn't have to question it.
No, we didn't.
We did.
So then I went through all of his accounts of what happened, and when he started talking to the aliens, because in the beginning he wasn't talking to the aliens. That kind of progressed along. So I went and got all of that stuff. So Michael Horn comes on this show. Michael Horn is Billy Meyer's official representative. Always has been forever now.
And still is. Unless he's dead.
Still is. Yeah. No, he's not. And he refuses to do an interview with us. But I've asked him. Yeah. Recently, I've asked him too. And so he comes on. He starts telling me all this shit. I said, Michael, I like Billy. And I know Billy's legit, but I also know Billy hoaxed this and lied about this. Oh, no, you're wrong. I said, dude. I said, I'm going to send you this in a text right quick. I said, these are the experts that looked at this. I said, you notice there's some pretty big names on here. I said, and when the people who work for Disney said you're faking it, you're pretty much faking it, my friend. I said, so the problem isn't, Billy, that we don't believe Billy Myers, Michael. I said, it's just that we know now not everything he told us was true, because obviously he needed some money or he needed some fame, whatever it was that he needed. He made these fakes for all Billy. I mean, Michael
I
lost
think he
his
missed
mind.
most of the fame, but the money was really what he was after.
Yeah, Michael lost his mind. He starts hollering, screaming, and ranting. Jeffrey, yeah, these interviews are probably still available somewhere. You got either SoundCloud or YouTube. No, we don't have the old servers anymore. Yeah, you're thinking like Lot 265. No, they would have had a lot more stuff than these do. Yeah, yeah. Some of the older stuff's not available anymore, mainly because of audio quality. But anyway, Billy Myers talked about, of course, the old world and how aliens came and all. But when you listen to his version of it, of course, if you listen to Whitley Strieber's version or any of these single Messiah type guys, they all become the Messiah.
Yeah,
Really? I mean, really?
What was the guy with the temple where they all like poisoned themselves when the comet came by? The same idea. I mean, they just like
Yeah.
they all thought he was the Messiah. No.
Well, no, Jimmy, it's a thing that happened. We have a running joke. Lynn and I've been joking about this for a long time about old ufologists go crazy. Now I'm an old ufologist now, so I'm getting a little nervous.
Yeah,
I was a young
me too.
ufologist. When I was a young ufologist, all the old ones were going batshit crazy, and a lot of the ones today are going batshit crazy. So,
I mean,
once
what's
they
his name?
put something in the air.
David. He just.
Yeah, the one that walked out and shot himself.
Yeah.
Wilcox.
Precisely. I mean, he's younger than us.
Yeah, David Wilcox just walked out and shot himself. Now, since then I have talked to some people who knew him and said he was going through depression.
He was
So
going through shit. Though, yeah.
No, nobody thought he was going to kill himself, but he was going through some kind of depression. And then there was some leaked out that it may have been something like it had something to do with the Epstein thing. Not Epstein itself, but something related to something like that. I said, well, that's the first time I've ever heard that. I've never heard anything about David like that. Not to say that it ain't true. I mean, there was other ufologists who have ended up that way. So,
and I do think a broken heart is involved, like with an ex, but other than that, yeah, it's a sad event. And then I had never interviewed him, never met him, but I've seen almost every interview that he's done on almost every subject that I follow, and he's a solid dude. Seemed like a very nice guy. You wouldn't think, he would have done that, but whether mind control or depression,
yeah, no telling what it was.
Personal life problems, whatever it was.
Jack, you can't always rule out when it comes to ufology. You can't always rule out something didn't interfere.
Yeah, because there's
we've been
there's so much.
More than once.
Schneider, Cooper, what's it? Cooper, the pale horse or pale rider guy. Just to name a couple. I can't even. There's so many.
Oh, you want to know? All right, Dean. Dean just asked me, what do I think was the most obvious case that showed the government intervened? All right. Let me think. I'm trying to think of her name right now. Yeah, but
JFK.
No, why can't I remember her name? No. This is an important case too. She is the Millab girl. She's the one who started the Millab stuff. So I don't know why it's not coming in, and I knew this woman and I've talked to her.
Not Betty Hill. No.
Not Betty Hill. Oh God, usually I would know her name right off the bat. But anyway,
she's blonde, isn't she?
No, I think she's brunette, but she's dead now. She's long dead now. No, not Linda Moldy Howe. No, this was a professional researcher. So I'm gonna look a name up in a minute. So she got into this and she really busted open the military abduction shit wide open. I mean, wide open. And then wasn't even like 2 months after she went on stage, poof, she got stage 4 cancer. She had just had been in a hospital, had all kind of work done. She had no cancer. Even the doctors couldn't understand how the hell she was in a hospital 2 months, and then 2 months later she had stage 4 cancer and was dying.
Is it the same year that 4 of our show hosts also got stage 4 cancer?
It might have been. I'd have to go look. No, I think it was actually before that. But I don't know why I can't. I got a bunch of her original work on one of my hard drives. Yeah,
What was she
anytime.
known for? I'll ask Google.
Military abductions. She's the lady who did the
Oh,
military
Hey,
abduction.
Google. Who's the lady who brought the military abduction phenomenon out into the public?
Ah, damn, why can't I remember her name?
The couple most associated with bringing the alien abduction phenomenon into the public consciousness were Betty and Barney Hill.
No.
Following their reported
Yeah, the same
Hey,
problem
Google.
I do it that she don't listen.
Hey,
Yeah.
Google. What lady is the lady who came out with the theory of the MyLabs abductions? Not aliens, but MyLabs.
It sounds like you're referring to Linda Napolitano, whose claims about being abducted often
Nope,
involve
that
the
ain't
hidden
her.
agents of MyLab themes.
Napolitano?
That's not it. No.
The story became widely known after the publication of Witness, the true story of the Brooklyn Bridge UFO abductions by ufologist Bud Hopkins. Would you like to know more about the details of that case?
No, you already know it.
Stop trying to. And then right now I'm watching. So I post this in there, Millab researcher, right? And
Okay, well, she's a brunette. I think the lady is I think she's a blonde.
It's trying to change my search to MLA. And intentionally
Was she a reporter?
I can't remember. Right now I'm drawing a blank on her completely. It's no, I can't. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy now.
Melinda Leslie?
No, Melinda Leslie's a good friend of mine. Melinda Leslie and I are the ones who took over for.
Right.
Was it
Okay.
Carla Turner? That was it, Carla Turner.
Carl Turner. The other one next one was Maria Farmer. Was the next one?
Carla Turner, I believe, is what it was. I think that's what it was. Carla Turner. Dr. Carla Turner. That's her.
Carla Turner, MyLabs. The untold Dr. Carla Turner did not say the theory. Yep, that's her.
That's
And she's
her.
a brunette.
Yeah, she's a brunette. She was, man, let me tell you what, she was laying them to waste, Jay. I mean, literally, she was mowing down the field, the critics. She had been on coast. She was mowing everybody down. And then she started getting warnings. People calling in the show. She was not warning her, you better stop, you better stop, you better stop, and poof. She was dead. It was no, matter of fact, right after it happened, Melinda Leslie called me because Melinda Leslie was trying to change the name of Millabs to relabs or reabductions, meaning that you were being taken after the abduction, so you were reabducted. There's a coast to coast show with Melinda Leslie and I talking about this on Coast to Coast. We were the only one, still all the only ones that take on military abduction research. Nobody else messes with it. As far as I know, there's nobody out there doing this but ICAR. And Melinda Leslie may still be doing it, but she didn't like doing it by herself because it's.
Well, I mean, he's dead, but Bud Hopkins would have still been doing it. He was in heavy.
But he didn't. He was in abductions. He didn't believe in military abductions. No, he didn't believe.
No. Yeah, but he would have still been doing at least alien abductions anyway. I mean, which is kind of, they're connected. You got to say they are connected, no question.
Well, they are, because it's the abducted. It gets the reason you're getting abducted by the government is because you're abducted by the aliens.
You got abducted by the aliens.
That's exactly why. It's
Whoa, hey. Yes, Heidi, that is coastal highways or coastal empires 3 most wanted that Joe was showing you there.
Hi, Heidi, do you know what Linda Moulton Howe's claim to fame is?
Yeah, I do.
I do. I'll tell you, this ain't got nothing to do with ufology.
Oh, I know what her intro into ufology is, though. I think I know what you're talking about now.
A good friend of mine, DeAndrew. Oh man, she's driving Linda Moulton Howe crazy. Linda Moulton Howe was a Miss America contest. She won her state. Yeah, she was Miss wherever. She was Miss wherever.
Can't tell now, but she used to be pretty.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now she's a scary bitch, and she won't stay off my theories. She pisses me off when she gets on my theories and talks about it. I'm like, oh no, she hates me. the bitch part is this is the best part about Linda Moore. How she never can remember who I am. So her and I got into it in Roswell at the 60th anniversary. Well, we got into it a couple of years before that. I think it was the 50th, or anyway, Paul Harris and I had got into it on Wake Up USA, and Linda and I got into it in Roswell. And I told us that if you're going to be talking my shit, at least say it correctly. And she said, "Well, I hear you've got new theories on cattle mutilation," but this was way back. I mean, I just started looking into this. We're talking. I didn't know that the ranchers were getting paid. I didn't know any of that at that time. I said, "Yeah, I'm just looking into it." I said, "There's been a couple of times there's been some black helicopters sighted, and there's been skid marks." I said, "I'm just seeing what the government's looking at." "Oh, they're probably trying to catch you." I said, "Well, whatever it is, I don't know. I'm just why I'm looking into it." And of course, we were in. I forgot where we were. We were in some Texas. No, we were in Roswell and going to Texas. And I had a chance to go in Arizona, Nevada, and New Mexico and in Colorado and meet some ranchers that had supposedly had aliens taken. I mean, cattle taking them. And so I get there first place. I go to Colorado first. I make it like coming back like a little square or something. So I get up there and talking to the guy, and he said, "Well, look, let me show you. I got pictures." I'm like, "Wow." And I noticed like this thing right here was missing. And it was, these 5-6 locations where things were missing. I was like, "That's interesting," but I didn't know what they were. But I made a notation of it, and then I took a picture of the picture so I could at least, look them up to see what it was. And he said he had a forensics report, so he went and got it for me. Nice guy, man. And I said, "Well, it must have sucked. I mean, how much does this cow cost?" He said, "Oh, when it happened, he was probably worth about $3,700. He said, "But the insurance company gave me $4,000 out for him for my headaches." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
So you can buy 2 more.
So he said, "Yeah, well, that's what he said." No, he was like, back then it was 500. He said, "I'm gonna go buy 4 calves." That was his words exactly.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So he goes, he said he's all happy, and so he's not even upset at this point. He said, "Well,
No.
He said, "I couldn't tell you what it was." He said, "I can tell you it wasn't an animal in forensics."
It's a 4-to-1. That's a 4-to-1 replacement ratio. You lose 1 and get 4 back. I mean, that's pretty good.
So, and he said it happened 2 more times since then, up at a certain place. So he took me up and showed me the place, and I had some aerial photos.
Babies, yeah.
Yeah, I had some. I pulled some. I went to the library because back then we couldn't find a lot of this stuff on the internet.
Yeah, back the library used to be the internet.
Yeah. Yes, people. Well, no, the internet existed, then they just didn't have a lot of this hadn't been put on yet. It takes time to put stuff on the internet and link things to the internet, and it don't just pop on you automatically when you get a computer. I'm sorry, it's not the way it works. But anyway, so I got these aerial things, and then a couple of them I had noticed red zones, but I didn't know what they meant. And I was like, okay, so I went and asked the librarian. She didn't know either. And she said, "Oh, they used to do types of testing you might check here." And she gave me this phone number, this company I called, and they said, "Oh yeah, more than likely it was one of the places where one of the baby bombs were detonated." And I'm like, "Baby bombs?" "Yeah, baby nukes." I'm like, "Oh." So okay, so I move on. I'm thinking, man, there's a lot of information I got here. I get to Arizona. No, I got to Nevada, and I was going to 3 different ranches in Nevada. And one of the guys called me. He said, "Well, look, I know these other 2 guys. He said, why don't we all just go out and have lunch somewhere, and we can talk about this, and we'll bring some pictures and whatever evidence we've got with us." I was like, "Sure." Took me some steakhouse, bought me a monstrous freaking steak. This thing was as big as my head. I'm not kidding. Up here, steak was like this. Freaking this thick. I was like, I was in love with these guys. And so we get to talking, and I said, "Well, let me ask y'all." I said, "Is this just weird, or was this just 1 or 2 ranches this happened to?" He's like, "What?" I said, "Well, they got paid for their damn." "Oh, no. He said, "When you have herds, you have insurance." I'm like, "Really?" He said, "Oh yeah." He said, "All 3 of us got insurance." And I said, "Well, how many
long as the identification tag in the ear, whichever ear it is, or in some cases it's a tattoo, long as that identifying mark is still there."
Oh, some of them still had old school brands on them too. They were talking about that.
Brand, yeah, okay.
And I was, but you know what? He was just telling me they were just switching from a heat brand to an ice brand. So instead of they used liquid nitrogen, they would put the thing in a liquid nitrogen.
I'm sure that still hurts.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the hell the difference was. But
what's the fucking difference? Yeah, it's extreme.
Maybe the cold numbs it.
Ice feel the same.
Yeah, but I'm thinking as it numbs you, maybe I don't know. It was weird, but anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to guys. He starts telling me, "Oh no," and I said, "Well, how many cows have you lost?" He said, this has been going on for about 9 years. He said, my dad had actually lost a couple when he had the place. He said, so probably about 20 years we've seen this on and off. He said, we probably lost between 9 and 15 cows. And he said, most of the time they don't take a bull. They usually just take heifers, and they don't take pregnant ones either. He said, they don't take calves, just cows. And I
It's
was
like
like,
3 years and older is the
yeah.
median age.
But he said because of insurance payments and all that for the dozen or so cows, 15 cows, he said he's probably got at least 45 back. He said that, and a couple of times the insurance companies came in and offered him what they called the plus program because it had been going on that they wanted to give him extra cows. He said it had to be something connected to the government. And he said, I never understood why. He said, but one day they showed up with 50 cows. And I was looking at the other two guys. He said, yeah, he showed up at 150 with mine. He said, my ranch is bigger than his. I was like, really? And then they got to talking about the insurance, and the forensic test all suggested there was a laser used and a vacuum pump was used. That's their official opinion, that somebody had a vacuum pump that sucked the blood out and that they were using lasers to remove it. Now, we've had field lasers.
Yes.
We've had field lasers since the 60s. Now, oh no, Johnny, field laser in the 60s was about the size of a Hummer.
When we were implementing laser technology in the 50s with at least our jets, we had laser guided infrared goggles and missiles for our fighters in that war. But interestingly enough, no one's ever explained adequately why no predators, no animals, not even like the common bugs that would break down a carcass get to it. And the reason is because two things. One, all the blood is gone. All the gases that would start the breakdown process have been removed or allowed to escape because of the wounds. And number two, it was handled by human beings. So no animal would come near it. It smells like humans. So
anyway, Mike, we head out to Arizona, and then we head over to New Mexico. It's basically the same thing. These guys got paid for their cattle. All of them had lost three or more cows. Some of them had lost up to 15. All of them
in one night or over time.
No, this is over time. Everybody agreed that everybody I talked to this had been going on for at least a decade. They were saying that it looked like what they did is they would go to like John's place and a certain time of the year, and then they go Bob's place a certain time of the year, and then the next year they would go to like Keith and John and the other guy's place. So it was like every third year or every 2.5 to every 3 years you would lose a cow. Now sometimes they said you might lose more than one or two. He said he thinks that sometimes something must have happened because on 2 different ranches up at a particular part of the ranch, they took like a third of the herd. They just killed it. And in a way, they said that you couldn't be saved or used for meat or anything. It would suggest maybe it was contaminated.
Yeah, they do something to the body, whether they wash it in ammonia or Clorox or something. I mean, it's not anything that any animal could eat. And again, there are no animals. And the scary thing, it's not so much the predators don't come and the cadaver, the carrion eaters, who crows and turkey vultures, but the insects and the fungus that normally start the process after death, they don't come at all. So they've done something to it by sanitizing it with a liquid or something. It is bizarre.
I know.
Yeah.
And shown east. Sorry guys, I was just double typing there. All right, let's see. What's that, Jimmy? So what is all this leading to? Well, just hold on and I'll tell you. Just be patient. So anyway, the majority of these people all told me the same thing. They found their cows. They find the cows dead, and they said all of them have found the cows. Rigor mortis had set in, which means they'd been dead for a while. And then, but no animals, like Jay was saying, nothing was chewing on them or anything. So I was trying to tie in what could be why it was happening to these. There's a lot of ranches in the United States, a lot of ranches in the world, and I was trying to figure out why it was happening in these areas. So I started looking for cattle mutilations east of the Mississippi. I found one or two, but when I went and investigated them, they did
Ohio
not
Valley.
turn out. Yeah. Well, the problem was is when we went to check them, most of them didn't turn out to be legit. They turned out to be hoaxes. Same thing we found with two in South America we investigated. They turned out to be hoaxes. Or actually,
Yeah.
let me rephrase that. One of them turned out to be fraud. There was a general down there that was said that the aliens were taking his cows and then he was putting them in people's water wells. You know, those raised above ground wells like you see in
Yeah.
the South. He was putting them in there.
And
And
drowning.
yeah, no, they were already dead.
Oh.
He was just hiding them. He was just hiding them so he could collect his money. Yeah, I guess because there's El Chupacabra down there, you get your money without a body. Not here, people. You gotta have the body to get the money here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if you don't have no body, you don't collect no money.
Yeah. No tiki, no laundry, you know?
So anyway, we found that the things they were moving were certain types of soft tissues in the tongue and other places where radiation would show up first. In the blood, and then because it would show up in the blood, and these particular tissues it would show up in abundance.
Blood,
If
nasal passages, genitals, rectum,
heart, things like that.
stomach,
But anyway, they took all this stuff
intestines.
and to go test it. So I couldn't figure out what the aliens were doing with it and why they had to do it so many times and why they were doing it in so many
Yeah.
different areas. But why weren't they doing it in Europe? I'm like, why aren't they doing it in Europe? I don't understand it. Why does cows in Europe, just cows in Asia? Why aren't you doing it there?
Number two, also, why are they leaving back? If they don't want to be found, why are they leaving back behind the evidence? Two, they could easily keep it with them, eject it into space, and they wouldn't be using lasers probably. They'd be using something much more advanced.
Yeah. So I was on my first time on Coast to Coast. I was on there and I said, I'm pretty sure cattle mutilations are just our government checking up on nuclear testing. You would have thought I shot some poor sucker, man. You really would have. They were like, "Oh my God, no!" I said, "Well, it's like the Betty and Barney Hill thing."
The overlays of the maps, though, the cattle mutilations really only happen near major facilities where either nuclear testing is going on, did go on in the past, or if there is an active, I guess, either weapons grade munitions reactor. Like, so you'll find some mutilations in like the Tennessee Valley. And then, like Joe said, there were some in the Ohio and New York Hudson valleys, but they panned out probably to be unrealistic. But I think the ones in Tennessee probably are because that's where they made the bombs. That's where they made the material for the first, the Manhattan Project. So they do have them there, but maybe not as much or frequently.
Hold on, guys. No. I just wanted to type that in there right quick. No, there was. Okay, Frank. First off, there was nuclear weapons detonated east of the Mississippi River. Okay. So one, not far from where I live right now, there was two detonated in Mississippi, not far from where I am. Well, first off, there's no cattle around there that would actually help them close enough to the detonation to help them. Secondly, all the ones done on the east side all have monitoring stations. Yeah, they for some reason when they decided to start blowing up nukes where there were more people, they started adding monitors. Yeah, the ones in Mississippi have they have portholes, and inside of them in a couple of different locations you can actually.
They finally got smart about being stupid with their radioactive toys.
And then they have groups that regularly monitor because there's a lot of water around there, so they regularly monitor the water, the food. They come out and take regular plantings and check the animals. See what they're doing in Mississippi and in Ohio and places like that in the open is basically what they're doing out west. So get this in your head, people. There are none of these programs out west. That's why we have cattle mutilations. If we had the programs, we wouldn't need cattle mutilations. But by putting the programs in effect out west, it makes them look like maybe we don't have control of this. Well, no, because the ones in the east were already done. Nobody knows about it. No, they don't. You know what? Give me a second. I'll look. How many blasts? Let's see. Sounds like all
You want me to ask Google?
Yeah, you're gonna ask. Most of the ones they talk about detonated east of Mississippi River was Mississippi. Go ahead, ask Google though.
Hey, Google, how many nuclear weapons tests were made on the east side of the Mississippi?
The east side, people. We live on the east
There were
side. Yeah.
exactly 2 nuclear weapons
Yep,
tests
Mississippi.
conducted east of the Mississippi River. Both were underground detonations that took place at the Salmon site in Lamar County, Mississippi, during the 1960s.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Right. Underground test.
So now you know why there's no cutting mutilation test here. You also know now you know why there's none in South America. There was no nukes detonated in South America. That's why you know there's none in Europe, because there was no nukes in Europe. So let me get this right, people. If the blinking aliens, if this was news on the flip side, I'd be tearing you.
Oh,
but if the
are there
blinking
Academy
aliens
launches near Nagasaki or Hiroshima?
there's something else though. So no, John. Think about it. The only place that has cattle mutilations is in the western part of the United States, where there was nuclear testing done. You don't find them anywhere else on the planet. Now, we can't tell you about Russia, and we can't tell you about modern China, because we don't know where they're testing or what's going on. We have no access to any of that. But, you know, China's communist. They're not telling us, Jack.
Well, I don't know about the Chinese. They're kind of exact. But knowing what we know of the Russians, you bet their ass the way that they do things fast, hard, and heavy without, they leap before they look kind of thing. Guaranteed they have a lot of mess ups in where they exploded nuclear weapons. And I'm sure they're doing the same kind of testing. They may not be mutilating cows, but they're doing some sort of monitoring just like us.
Well, they might not even care. I don't think China.
They may not. Yeah, they may not even care. Yeah.
Nah, Jack. I don't think China's communist government really cares. So they nuke a couple 100,000 people. China needs to get rid of some population. They got 1.4 billion people.
Well, they also just think about this. It used to be for years and years and years. It wasn't a cultural thing. This isn't like a racist thing. It was an actual law that Chinese couples could only have one child. Well, they recently said, I don't know, a couple of years ago, now everyone can have two. So they're expecting some losses. I think they're expecting some serious losses coming up. So
they're already experiencing them. Yeah, they're going backwards right now. They're not the only ones going backwards, Jeffrey. So United States is, I think the death rate is 1.6 and the birth rate's like 1.4. It's real close. It's right around there. Well, it flip flops back and forth. It's not always a minus. Sometimes it's a positive. It needs to be a positive all the time. For every one person dies, 2 people should be born.
Yep.
But right now, that's not what it is. It's really close. Well, there's 8 billion of us. So apparently there was some forward progress. When I joined the planet, it was like 1.5 billion people on it.
The last time we checked, the rate to a dying person to one being born, it was something on the order of like 1 death to 1.1 births. So
it was close. I know it had
it's a weird number,
somewhere. It had middled out somewhere, but I don't. Oh, unfortunately, Jeffrey, numbers stick in my head. I can tell you girlfriend's phone numbers from when I was 16. Yeah, it sucks. It's that's the kind of stuff you want to delete. Yeah, and it won't just get you. No, I need you know what I need from my brain? A good defragmenter. Yeah, not to go through it.
Good degaussing.
Oh yeah, I feel better now. There ain't no telling what's scattered around of that damn thing. Like lessons you learn.
Help get some of this information that we try to emulate to y'all out a little more cohesively, because there's so much tangential to it. But so let's go back to some evidence of what's proven that aliens are on. We were getting towards that. I think we were in Mesopotamia.
Oh, and so when you go back, and we've talked about a lot of these symbolism things that you see in the past. So when you go back just 5,800 years, you find these 3 races, which is what we consider the cradle of civilization on this planet, the Middle East, which you know how Jay and I feel about the Middle East. But anyway, the cradle of civilization, which was the Middle East, isn't anymore, but was.
Particularly Mesopotamia and the Tigris and Euphrates rivers.
Yeah. Technically, Jack, Samaria gets the first written language, but Mesopotamia and Egypt was right there. And if you believe in the Zero Dynasty Egypt, they actually had the first written language. So that's going to be sketchy for a while.
Göbekli Tepeans, I'm going to say that's the first.
Well, actually, now it's different because we've seen carvings on 3 cities that we know that are at least 15,000 years old. So, yeah, guess
Yeah,
what?
we'll
Guys?
go back to
None of the
Tepe's
races
tank.
we're
You got
talking
that
about,
too,
none of the races we're talking about right now were the first. Okay, we don't know
Yeah.
who the first was. No, we don't. So, it's archaeology is slow to catch up sometimes. The archaeologists are quite aware of these cities that exist. You got to wonder why they're not in a big hurry to check them out. Well, I know why, because one, it makes you change every freaking theory that exists today. The Middle East isn't the
half of
cradle
them are
of
2,000
civilization.
feet underwater.
Yeah. So that means that the Middle East isn't the cradle of civilization. It's not where everything started. Maybe it was where everything ended at, which is about to happen again.
That may be where our historic. There is something historic about that area, because I was thinking about this earlier today, and one of my friends from my jobs at one of the big box stores, we were talking about this, and so the Sumerians they're credited in history with the first writing, but they've written like this like a Star Wars story of these aliens that come down and change the planet. And it's all those gods or aliens, they are part of their pantheon. It's a multi-god, it's polytheism, it's polytheistic theories. Well, from those several tablets, I think it was more than 5 tablets, but several different titles of tablets, the Atrahasis model, the Gilgamesh story, and the Enuma Elish creation myth, those create the 5 core books of the 3 big religions. So it's a significant point in time, because this is where we see going from polytheism to monotheism. That's where they really credit to Christianity in the 1st century, but it really happened back here. That's how hard the struggle was for one religion or the 3 single god religions to fight the other multi-religions back. So that's an historic thing. But what's fascinating to me is that the story they wrote. It's not just what they wrote. Is that they wrote it with, like, it was the first language, but it's not telling people about anything that they can understand. It's like giving Star Wars to a mouse. Like, have mouse read Star Wars, they wouldn't understand it. They couldn't get their head around it. And so it's really strange how these 7 or 8 different titles and many tablets translate into our religion, and now people are fighting all over it. It all comes from the same core stories. It's weird.
Christopher, where are you at? On Rumble? Oh, I don't have. You know what? I can open it up. Let me see.
And for some reason, we no longer get Rumble in the StreamYard.
Yeah, we used to get it over there.
Everybody else, but Rumble.
No, I don't know why. Yeah. Well, my Rumble's open now, so I'm on the UFO Paranormal Radio.
Week or 2, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. We've written to them. They say it's Rumble caused a problem. I don't know. I mean, I can't argue with them because I don't really know. What do you mean something lit up behind me? Oh, you mean that?
Did Bob open a portal behind you? I don't see. You're
talking about that light down.
Oh, that's a lightsaber.
Maroonish. No, that's not the lightsaber. It is.
No,
it's lightsaber.
Oh. Caught me with my britches down.
Yeah, we just cut his britches off. Y'all just got mooned, people. In the real Star Wars, you just got mooned.
Yeah, but mine's purple. Does that even look purple to you? I can't.
Yeah, it looks purple. Yeah, it looks purple.
Yeah. To me, it looks almost whitish. Mace Windu.
Yes, we.
But you know, I have the trumping card.
This was made specifically for me, people. What are you talking about? I'll get out here. That little girly sword. Little girly sword. I got my He-Man sword. Where's my He-Man sword? I'm gonna keep that little thing alive.
Oh, this would crack He-Man sword with one strike, dude.
Man. Get out of here. Where's my Highlander sword at? I'm going to get my Highlander sword out.
This thing absorbs energy and then sends it back to you.
Yes, and I'm going to give it some girly energy to absorb. There's your little girly thing.
I wonder how cool that would be to see Sword fight one of the Green Lanterns, or any one of the Lantern Ring sources. That'd be pretty cool.
Frankie. Well, no. See, with the Sumerians, they wrote about contact. They talk about these great white dome cities and all this stuff, but the Mesopotamians do too.
Uruk and Eridu.
Yeah, and then
so that's what the story is called. we say Enuma but the overall, all the stories that come out of Samaria, they call in like academia the Eridu creation story. They no longer call it a myth, thank God, but they do call it the Eridu creation myth story.
Yes, it's very strange. Let me see if I can harass.
Very weird
somebody.
culture.
Let me see if I can harass somebody here as they're going by. Hey, don't say stuff at me. Violence around here, I'm telling you what. That was Fiona.
Careful what you wish for, sir.
I've been teaching Fiona how to fetch. No, that's not a light. That is you can't see the picture. I need to get a light. I'm gonna get one actually made that goes above the picture.
Is that the Frazetta?
Yeah, that's a Frazetta. That's whatchamacallit Frazetta. That's Battlefield Earth Frazetta. It's one of the images.
Is it Tom Frazetta?
Oh, it's Frank Frazetta.
Yes, I know.
Gee, no, I can't. They always crack up when I'm at Writers of the Future because I call him the Dean Martin of art because he kind of looks like Dean. He ain't got that kind of swagger like Dean had. Okay. Whoop, yes, I'm old.
You got a pickled finger like
I
Dean
was
Martin
not,
had?
Okay, first off, I was not young when Dean was wasn't even alive, matter of fact, for a good chunk of his career. No, I liked the guy. The guy was funny as fuck.
He was hilarious.
No, he wasn't. That's the thing. He wasn't always drunk. It was an act. No. I said not always. You should listen.
Yeah.
You should listen when I speak. No, he was
Foster Brooks. Was
him
always
and
drunk when he wasn't drunk.
him. No, it was him and the Rat Pack. They used to all go out and party their asses off.
Oh hell yeah! Who's in there? You got Frank Sinatra. You got Eddie Miller.
Who
Who else? You got Jerry. Not Seinfeld. That guy, the funny Jerry.
Jerry Lewis. No, but I was
Jerry
thinking
Lewis,
of
and Sammy Davis Jr.
Sammy, yeah, not Sammy Hagar.
That's the Rat Pack.
Yeah,
Sammy Davis, the black guy with only one eye.
Yeah. No, I wasn't calling Jay a goose. I was calling you a goose. You don't want to type in Sammy Hagar.
It's way before Hagar's time.
I don't know if they could have hung with Hagar. He's a party guy. I don't know.
He was kind of a coke snorter too. I don't think he would. Yeah. I don't think those guys would be into that one. You never know.
Yeah, but anyway, Jimmy. So you have these three base cultures. All three of them just have this very similar story on how life came to be on this planet. They give you a creation story. Yeah, they give you a creation story. And I don't mean a creation story where God took that rib of Adam or whatever and made whatever, took some dirt off the ground and made humans. That's not what they're talking about here. They talk about advanced beings from other places. They refer to them as gods, but and in all fairness
they talk
to them,
about beings from the planet Mars and the planet, I forget what they call it in the Bible, but that what was once the fifth planet. I think they call it Maldek.
I've heard all kinds of names for that damn planet. Actually,
I think they call it Maldek, and then
I've seen one.
They talk about Saturn. Saturn is like Kaiwan or Kaiwanis.
I seen one out of Japan the other day.
Yes,
they called it tofu.
We have to keep that actually top secret. The age of Joe. Same with me. We have to hide our immortality. Sucks. Every 100 years or so.
Joe changes ages every week, man. So you never know what the hell age I am. What the hell, man? I didn't know you was 23. Shit, girl.
Yeah, goddamn, shoosh.
You just a baby, yeah, huh, honey?
So, but anyway, these books books that are now no longer part of any of the three major religions, the Torah, the Quran, or the Bible. None of them have these stories any longer. Some of them may have little bits and pieces of it, but nothing substantial. But they talk about the planets. They talk about dinosaurs. They talk about what actually happened on Mars. They talk about the actual fallout, the fallen angels, where they came from. They didn't come from Earth. They didn't come from heaven. They didn't come from God. They came from the red planet, Mars.
Yeah, it does look more and more like they're
and
gonna
their
have to.
skin was red.
No, Jeff. It's looking more and more like they're gonna have to contend with Mars. So when I got into this field all this ancient time ago, I was always assuming these were extraterrestrials from distant places. And in the last decade, because of more current research, new things I found out, but a lot of hardcore research dealing with the aliens, it seems like that may
They're
only
a
be
lot more
partially
local.
true. Yeah, it seems like at least two of the races for sure either had colonies on the inner planets or had homes on the inner. I don't know if it was their home world, colony world, whatever, but Mars and the
Or
fifth
pit
planet.
stop like with the tall whites.
So it looks like there was a race on Earth, there was a race on Mars, there was a race on the fifth planet. No one's sure about Venus because we can't. No one can give us an accurate date on when it went foo-foo. Okay, it could have easily. It's got an upper
Well, that too,
atmosphere
we
like
don't know
Earth.
either.
Yeah, it's got an upper atmosphere like Earth, so it could have been like us 50, 60 million years ago, just like all the rest of these worlds. But we don't really know when everything went foo-foo. We do seem to think that they all went in relatively, and when I say relatively, I'm talking about space time, not human time. It's a much
But
bigger difference.
why also is the atmosphere on Venus twice as thick as it should be? Is it
The
possibly
lower
the same
atmosphere
theory that
is.
we're talking about with the planetary water coming from either the fifth or fourth planets and striking Earth for the flood effect? Maybe maybe the atmospheres from that same event
Well, they
stuck onto Venus.
theorize. Well, they theorize that there is a layer of clouds that are water vapor. So they theorize
Yes.
that's already that's there. Well, no, Jimmy, Venus is weird. So the very first time a probe ever went through, the first thing you heard was, "Wow, upper atmosphere identical to Earth." No one was expecting that shit. Let me tell you what, no one was.
Right.
And then Russia decides let's send some probes. Russia goes crazy. Probe. They're getting them down to the ground and shit. They're crashing stuff on the ground. And one of their probes, it actually looked like there was something there, like a bush or a tree of some kind. It was probably some kind of petrified rock or something, but it was very odd. Well, because unfortunately, the pressure wasn't what killed them. It was the acidized atmosphere and the pressure.
Basically ammonium atmosphere.
Yeah.
But yeah, correct.
It's basically forcing the acid
it's
into
a
place
rocky
of the
floor,
crack.
but there's also like a paleontologist, botanist dream plant leaf, broadleaf plant in one image or two images.
No, Jimmy,
So
you're talking about the moons of. You're talking about the outer moons, yeah. No, that's different.
Oh, hey, hang on a second. You want to talk moons? I got something for you guys. Let's hold on. There it is. Still up. This is amazing. Let's talk moons.
What the hell?
All right, so this is a size comparison. Does this get any bigger? There we go. Yeah. So this is a size comparison of several planets and a whole lot of moons. So Earth, Venus, almost the exact same size. And then Mars, it's about half. And then Ganymede, these are moons here. Moons. Ganymede, Titan, Mercury is another planet. It's about the size of a moon. Callisto is a moon. Io is a moon. The moon is, well, it's our moon. And then this is Europa. This is around Jupiter. Europa is. Titan, I think, is Saturn's moon. These two have atmospheres. This is Pluto, which is used to be a planet. Then we have some more moons up here, and I think most of these are around Saturn. So we got Titania, Rhea, Oberon, Charon, the guy who takes you to hell and whatnot. Iapetus. These are all moons, and some of them have kind of like the appearance of like they could have an atmosphere. But that's only just a small sampling. There are over 400 moons in this solar system.
Oh, Jeffrey.
That we know of.
I think I remember that question. No, Jay's talking about moons, but you just said water moons. So, how many water moons do you think there are? Anybody out there listening? How many? Don't look on the internet.
But you
Put a
Google
number
knows.
up.
Hey Google, how many
Hey,
moons in our solar system
don't
have
be
water?
telling nobody yet. Don't be telling
Okay.
nobody.
Hey, Google, stop.
Believe there are at least
Hey, Google, stop. She said no.
No, you gotta watch it. Giving it away. No, I'm curious to the audience to how many moons do you think are water moons with water on them, do you think are in our solar system? Just in our solar system, nowhere else.
You want me to put up a poll? I can start a poll. If they'll answer.
So, well, this is going to vary on your sources now. So, Jay, go ahead and ask it now. No, Chris.
I got
Jay's
it.
going to ask Google, and then I'm going to give you what's on here.
Okay. Hey, Google, how many moons in our solar system have water?
It's widely accepted that water in the form of ice exists on many moons throughout our solar system.
Many.
When it comes to liquid water, scientists have identified several moons that are likely to harbor subsurface oceans, including Europa, Enceladus, Ganymede, Callisto, Mimas, and Triton. Would you like to know more about the specific evidence found for any of these particular moons?
No.
It's pretty good. That's 23 altogether, though.
And what most of them are on most of them she mentioned are on that map that I put up there that have water, liquid water.
No, James, there's 23 moons that supposedly have liquid water in our solar system.
You're right that several of the moons.
Hey, Google, stop. Hey, Google, how many
She's
total
just
moons
doing
in
her
our solar
job.
system?
As of August 2026, there are 293 confirmed moons orbiting
300.
Saturn
I said
alone.
400. It's 300.
When combined with the moons of all other planets and the many hundreds orbiting dwarf planets and other smaller bodies, the total number of confirmed moons in our solar system is well over 800.
Wow, 800.
This official count fluctuates frequently as new, smaller objects are discovered and confirmed.
Okay, Google, stop.
Or it's just broke.
Yeah. 8. I was guessing 400 max because the last time we did this it was like 293 or whatever. She
Yeah,
said.
but we're not counting moons
800.
that are around moons, man. The hell with that. If you're not around a planet, you ain't a moon. You're some planetoid crapola thing like Pluto.
Yeah.
No, they screwed Pluto.
What do
Bruce.
they
No,
call it? What is it
Pluto
now?
got
Is it a dwarf planet or is it a protoplanet?
No, I think it's a dwarf planet. Oh, it might be it. No,
Hey,
I
Google,
don't remember.
what is the planet Pluto now classified as?
Pluto is officially classified as a dwarf planet.
Dwarf
It
planet.
was
Yep,
reclassified from its former status as a planet.
Hey, Google,
by the
stop.
International-
We all know that.
Yes, we all went. No,
It was kind of a shocker too, and it was only because I read on it the other day that they found some other thing similar to Pluto size. Also has, I think this one has 3 moons, but it doesn't go around it has a weird orbit. It's with like a bunch of asteroids. You know what I mean? It's not by itself like Pluto is.
Jimmy, you're thinking of the one that starts with an E. Yeah, it's a small water moon.
Well, they got Enceladus and Europa.
That's it. Enceladus. That's it. No, it's Enceladus.
Let me go over to the map there. Let's look
Yeah,
at them.
it's kind of small.
What are we looking for? Europa or Enceladus?
Enceladus. That's the one we're talking about.
He's
Yeah.
on here. There's Ganymede. That's one of the water ones.
Yeah, it's
there it is, right here.
1950
It's as big as my
miles in
cursor.
diameter. Yeah, it's 1950 miles is how big it is. It's a little tiny.
No,
thing.
it's tiny. It's New Jersey is bigger.
Yeah, it's a tiny little moon. Yeah. No, but it's supposed to be a water moon, Jack. It's supposed to have legit oceans on it. Well, they know something's moving underneath it because of all the cracks on the top. But they know some of the ice is a little bit thicker than they realize because of some of the meteor strikes that you can actually
also
see.
they've noticed plate tectonics mechanics within the ice flow on the surface. So it's acting like Earth or ground. So there may be some ground under it, but probably not.
The odds of any planet with water having life are actually quite good. Yes.
It increases the chances by at least 90%.
Well, the way you look at it, you can take the science point of view if you like, or however you want to look at it. But that's the best way to look at it is look at our planet, look at the nastiest, most dangerous, hatefulest places on the planet, and there's life there. We have things growing in alkaline lakes. Yes, alkaline.
Things living on the walls of volcanoes.
Yes, I mean, all Earth proves to us is life will try no matter what.
No. Life will succeed no matter what.
Well, it doesn't always succeed, but
It's looking like it is pretty successful. Regardless,
it's pretty successful here on Earth, yeah, but it ain't all that successful.
It's pretty successful crossing the galaxy too.
It is,
by extension, probably the universe.
But when you look at the 800 moons and 8 planets in our solar system, it ain't been too successful here.
We don't know that because
we got an idea.
We think there may have been 3, maybe 4 planets with living creatures on them, but that's millions of years in the past.
What are you talking about? Jupiter's inhabitable. Yeah, if you've got like some super pressure ship.
Well, not to us, but there's probably some extremophiles somewhere in the atmosphere. I would say yes.
It's not Jack that it's just that it's just
in our volcano, so it's not without the realm of possibility. There's probably some stuff that would be considered classical life living on the surface of the sun. It is quite possible.
Oh, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Jimmy, a lot of people think suns are alive. A lot of people think planets are alive. A lot of people think the whole damn galaxy's alive.
Yeah. I would be one of those people.
Well, it's life on a plane we don't understand. But anyway, you keep getting me sidetracked. I want to get back to the Middle East.
Let's get this out of there. I think we're done with moons.
So first off, you've got all these Egyptian pharaohs with these weird shaped heads and all these stories about how they got here and where these pharaohs came from and legends about coming from foreign worlds. Yeah, worlds abroad. They don't really try to sell it as religion to you. They really try to sell it as because the only way they can look at these people is as gods. They don't have no other way to look at them. There's no understanding of that kind of technology back then.
But you got to wonder though, where did they have? I mean, before the gods came, there was no concept of God. Well, we don't know because they didn't write until after they came, so we don't know what their belief system was. I don't think. Hey, Google, before the first written words in Sumeria, what did the Sumerians believe? Did they believe in gods before their gods came?
Yeah, probably. People are panicky.
Before the development of writing, Sumerian beliefs were passed down orally. They practiced a polytheistic religion centered on anthropology.
Even before the writing, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they got the concept before the writing. Hey, Google, stop.
Yeah, right. Religion's been around for a long. That's been as long as we had. It's been a lot.
It doesn't really religionize itself until.
Ask Google. Ask Google what's older, religion or prostitution.
Hey Google, what's older, religion or prostitution?
Yes, I know it's a Friday question, but shut up.
Prostitution.
Historians generally view this as a complex question because both concepts evolved alongside early human civilization. While some early traditions involved ritualized sexual practices in temples, labeling them as prostitution is a modern interpretation that doesn't perfectly fit ancient context. Religion, in the form of animism and
it started at the same time,
is considered much older than the formal economic systems required to sustain prostitution.
So the Druids came first.
Would you like to hear more about how early society?
Okay, so
no. Hey Google, stop.
So Dean, where her answer was wrong is before the financial system came on, but before that there was barter. So they would have been trading stuff for you, candle wax, special magic stuff, special oils or greases.
Well, I mean, they probably even traded, women back then too.
Yeah,
so they were commodities.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I think prostitution and religion are the same age. I think they go hand in hand. To be honest with you, I don't think one can exist without the other one. Honestly. Well, frankly, they should have opened up prostitution for preachers a long time ago. Maybe they'd been far less. What's going on. We'll talk about it.
Molestations, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll talk about it Friday.
Yeah.
Is that Chris? Yeah, that's not a topic for the night show. This show really is PG-13, man. It really is rated that way. I don't want to get in trouble with nobody because we break the occasional F word. I'll get a letter, but I'll get like don't do that.
About that,
Yeah, that's basically what I don't do that again.
But again, what is the evidence we're missing as far as what the?
But wait. Hold
You
on.
and I both agree and disagree on the pyramids that we're missing a great deal of evidence there. We don't have the tools, we don't have the blueprints, we don't have any of that kind of stuff. We need those things to know where they were built, how they were built. We don't have that information. Same thing with the alien question in the ancient alien astronaut.
Well, alien's a little bit different though.
What evidence is there that proves?
What evidence is the Sumerians describe a particular type of alien, which is a human type alien, but not the kind that we're talking about with the Egyptians, which is would be considered the master race today. So that's the real human aliens, and then of course the Mesoamericans are talking about reptilians. They're kind of like,
But
now,
also on top of all of those similarities, their gods have, although different names, the chief gods of each pantheon are all seem very similar. You know, Thor and Jupiter and they all have the same powers. Kukulkan, Quetzalcoatl, they all have the same powers, the same realm of
they don't. The reptilians tend to have different abilities though. Like when you listen to the Mesoamericans, the reptilians were different than like the Greek or the Roman gods, where they were, and actually they were different in a couple of ways. One, they were much more forgiving and much more understanding, but they were also much more brutal at the same point. So no, people get confused when you talk about the Mesoamericans. Their gods were like fabulous to them. They loved them. They thought they were great. They taught them how to eat, drink, smoke, grow, everything. They're the ones who helped them become the empire they were. But they demanded blood and lots of it. And the argument is, was it the actual aliens demanding the blood, or was it the Mesoamericans themselves? I don't know, but the Aztecs, Incans, Mayans, and Toltecs all did it. And even the race before the Toltecs, did it. Well, I think when the Toltecs were here, I think they were still here. There seems to be evidence that suggests there was someone here with them.
Yeah.
Well, no, Jimmy, there's a race. Yeah, there's a race before there's two races before the Toltecs. They argue about who they are, and I don't argue about them because all I know is they existed. You put whatever label y'all want on them.
Let's see what Google says. Hey, Google, what are the two civilizations that come before the Toltec?
Oh God, I'll be amazed if she knows.
The two major civilizations that preceded the rise of the Toltecs in Mesoamerica were the Olmec and the Teotihuacan. The Olmec
That's the one,
foundational culture, while Teotihuacan grew into a massive, influential metropolis before its decline paved the way for later societies.
Yeah.
Would you like to know more about the specific time periods each of these civilizations occupied?
Yes.
Yes, I would.
The Olmec civilization, which flourished along Mexico's Gulf Coast, is generally considered the primary foundational culture of Mesoamerica. Following them, the city-state of Teotihuacan became a dominant center of influence, characterized by its massive pyramids and urban planning, long before the rise of the Toltec Empire. Would you like to know more about the specific cultural influences the Olmec
sounds like the one broke away from the Olmecs and created their own city.
Right, but also one of the largest cities, certainly one of the largest UNESCO sites, World History sites ever. They're still digging stuff out of the ground out of it. They found their hell underneath of it recently. That it's got it's built exactly like the way the description of their hell is, whether it's naturally that way or they designed it like that. But the Teotihuacan means city of the gods, and allegedly this is where the home of the gods for South American realm resided, and the architecture there, the pyramids there, are similar in size too, but highly more ornate than the Egyptian pyramids. In fact, the Egyptian pyramids have no identifying marks at all, except for a little bit of sepia tone graffiti written by vandals and interpreted by Vice as this is the guy who owns the pyramid. It's not. But every surface of almost every Mayan and Toltec building has glyphs and runes and hieroglyphs and language.
It's Jack. It's very strange. These races. Well, no.
Why build two different cultures?
Jay,
different different levels of ornateness.
Ask
Why?
Google. Ask Google what age those two existed in. The OMAC and the other one. Teo. I can't ever remember how to say
Hey
that.
Google, what years were the Olmec and the Teotihuacan cultures around?
The Olmec civilization flourished from approximately 1200 BCE to 400 BCE. Teotihuacan, which rose later in the Valley of Mexico, became a dominant force between 300 CE and 550 CE. Would you like to know more
Hey Google,
about the
stop.
relationship?
So they would have run concurrent with the ancient race that I would talk about. That I don't call myself an expert, but I know about them. The Jomon or Homon people of Japan, Korea. They did their art thing or their caravan thing through the Pacific waterways, trading with the local people, and they interbred with them. So they would have had contact with those people way back when.
But that's odd because so when you look at this, because those two cultures we're talking about are basically the start of the Mayan, Aztecs, and Incans.
Dude, they are. It's not basically they are the start of it.
Well, for some reason they try to say one of them came out of South America. I forgot which one of them was, but it's but basically they're the start of them. And
I would have thought there would have been the Olmec, or what was the one before them? Anyway, at least those
the two we were just talking about are in Mexico, so that's
yeah.
North America. So they might have went down. That what and we do know they went down. We know they went up and down. But it's funny. They never really went into the United States, and they never followed the Gulf around, which always bothered me. So they followed the Gulf downward, but they never followed the Gulf upward. I wonder why. There must have been a barrier or something, because it's all shallow, warm water. They're good fishing.
When I did my research on the Jomon for a paper in college, I found that I just traced one glyph. This one, if you look on a Greek or an Italian paper placement, when you go to Italian restaurants, they have that little rope pattern that goes around the edge. It looks like L over and over and over and over again. I looked for that pattern starting in Japan, and lo and behold, the only direction it traveled was it started. You can see it in the north, in Alaska, Western Canada, down the western coast of the United States, Mexico, and then just before the top of South America, the glyph goes west across to the Hawaiian Islands. But once it touches the Americas, it goes up, just like Joe said, to the Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico, and it goes straight across to Europe. Only a little bit of it goes across from the west because they have the contact on the west coast. But when the art and all that culture goes eastward, it never goes up. It always goes all the way west from the Gulf of America, and I don't know why. It's a strange thing. All the culture went in that direction.
I don't know. None of that made any sense to me. Every time I've looked at that, I'm kind of like, what the hell? Why exactly did this happen this way? Well, because what bothered me more than anything, Chris, is more than likely the Mesoamericans or the Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? Why am I still on? What the hell's going on with this picture? Hello, picture.
You blowed yourself up.
Yeah, I needed that for a picture, but I don't understand why I wouldn't go back. Well, no, Chris, it's hard to say because really and truly, Native Americans are not like Mesoamericans. They're different. They look different. They act different. They sound different.
They are similar though in their beliefs and their motifs. So if you take a modern day totem pole from one of the modern native tribes and you cart it down to Teotihuacan and compare it to the glyphs on the side of the Great Pyramid there, they look pretty close. Very, very close. The culture from Maya, Olmec, Toltec, they migrated and became Americans. What's nice of them?
No, Jimmy, when you look at them, I don't know, just Native Americans have a much smoother, cleaner, they just look different. They're taller. They have much straighter hair, much longer hair.
I think the Mayans and the Toltec would be more described as brown rather than red.
Well, Native Americans are like when I get a tan, there's always going to be a red undertone to it. Yeah. That's just a skin thing.
Because our
Well,
skin is
wha-
being poisoned by the sun.
Why Native Americans look different than, because and then that's another thing. We always said we came over on the land bridge. Well, guess what? You know what? I'm calling bullshit now that I've seen the water map. Bullshit.
Could have walked across it. I've been saying that for years and decades. It wasn't a
So,
bridge. It was
when you
an
look,
isthmus.
yeah, at one time there was no water there.
Yeah.
No, when you go start going backwards in time,
and
there was no water there.
But there also, at some points when the water started to come, it was still, you could have swum from rock to rock and still gotten across from Russia. At one point right now, even I think it's only 14 miles from Alaska to Russia. Hey, Google, how far is it to the closest point from America to Russia?
It's close. I know that.
The closest distance between the United States and Russia is approximately 2.4 miles, measured across the narrow stretch of water between Little Diomede Island in Alaska
Because
and
of two islands,
in Russia.
Yeah, it's because of two islands.
Hey, Google, stop.
I forgot about the island, yeah.
So it's closer than you think, for one thing. But I mean, coming up from Japan, like I said, I've been saying it for years. They had the canoes. They dug out canoes, which is what the Native American tribes use. They follow a tree, dig it out. It's a boat, and it's a really good boat. Well, that's what they did. They would caravan from Japan in the Crete area with the boats with goods in them, boats with their people in them to do the trade, and they would go all the way across Alaska, down the West Coast, and trade, get stuff from the natives, give stuff from their caravan, and then go back home. And it would take them probably, a full couple of years maybe to do the full circuit, because they're just riding the regular, natural current of the ocean. But they intermixed and interbred, and the DNA of Southeast Asia, Japan, South Korea, North Korea, is exactly the same as the Native American Indians and South American Indians.
Y'all shoot Jay. Y'all shoot Jay.
It's
don't
truth.
shoot
It's
me.
truth.
I don't hear
No,
that. Jay is evil.
It's a human
He's saying,
project.
he's saying that you white people are Asian people is what he's telling y'all now. I don't care what he's saying.
No, I'm saying the native tribes of North, South, and Central America are more closely related to Japanese and Korean haplogroups than they are to European or Latino haplogroups.
I find ouch. I find the Mesoamericans look more Asian than the Native Americans do.
Yes.
And you know what else? Somebody else. Oh man, the Alaskans might as well be Asian. Oh no, people. The Alaskans might as well be Asian. Somewhere along the line, they not just them. Some of the Polynesians should too. Yeah, I know I'm gonna have all kind of people writing to me, but no, I think more people come from the Asian world than people realize. It's just that as they broke away, generation after generation, it changed. No, white man wasn't native to Earth. He was sent here. Yes, he was. This is his punishment. Yeah. Guess it was y'all's punishment too. That was just evil. I'm sorry.
Hey, who knows? It could be our punishment.
That's what I just said. That's what I said. I said it's our punishment, but I guess it's y'all's punishment too. That's I know that was a bad joke. I apologize, but it was funny. It's no, I'll use it Friday night, but I'll use it in a different way on Friday night because I can't say it.
Yeah, it'll be dirtier.
Yeah, it's gonna be much dirtier. No, it's so as you travel backwards, just those three races we're talking about, and we haven't even gotten into depth because we've been kind of screwing around, but those three races, just what we've talked about is enough to let you know.
We also have some evidence of the elongated heads. We have the skulls. We know the skulls are, compared to ours, it's like if I was a elongated skull, a human skull would be about that big, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe about the size of two fists. That's the difference. This is a human skull, the elongated skull. It's a different race. So it's proof of something that at least, if you want to siphon from the Bible, at least the Nephilim were true, because this creature is at least 9 feet tall.
Well, so with the Sumerians, Dean, so technically there was two alien races with the Sumerians. There was the original race that landed here that couldn't breathe the atmosphere. but they recreated themselves into a race that could breathe the atmosphere.
But
So
they also had two people with them. There was Anunnaki and the Ijiji. They were two separate races, but they were the same exo-political group, if you would.
Yeah. Well, when they created this, whatever the hell this race that could breathe the atmosphere, they must have mixed them two together because they became one race. That race decided no, it was still the race that we're talking about. It's still the same group. They just recreated themselves so that they could breathe the atmosphere on this planet. Their children, and I don't know if they were children. They may have been clones, or they may have been other
Possibly.
things. But regardless, those beings decided that whoa, wait a minute. Why are we getting our fingers dirty? Why are we getting risky? You might get cobra bit or something. The hell with that. We're omnipotent super beings, just like the people who created us, because we're them. The only difference is they could breathe our atmosphere and their atmosphere, whereas the other race could only breathe their atmosphere. So they were kin. So they just said, no. We're going to recreate. We're going to create a new race that's going to do all the work for us. And that's when what the Sumerians call the seven creation man. It's different in different species. The Mesoamericans talk about it, Native Americans talk about it, but they all have these creation rumors where there seems to be more than one creation in the beginning.
Yes, and which alpha means more than one Garden of Eden, and I've said that from the beginning. Since I was a little kid, it's like, how can there only be one Garden of Eden if there's like, not to sound obtuse, but black, white, brown, yellow, and red skins. You have to have at least 5 different origins there.
Well, no, because in the beginning everybody was brown. Yeah, Jeffrey.
In Mesoamerica, in the Middle East.
No, everywhere. At one point on this planet, there was no color but brown, either brown or black. There was no white. There was no reason to even be any white, and there was no RH negative to even trigger any mutations yet. So they were brown hair, brown skin, brown eye. That's what they were supposed to look like. Brown hair, brown skin. Actually, it was black hair, brown skin, brown eye. And they talked about shades of brown, but they were still just all brown. Didn't seem to be where you were on the planet. You were brown in the beginning. And then RH negative merged into the scene, and all of a sudden we started having different colored hair, different colored skin, different colored eyes. It was like it just transformed us, turned us into something. It definitely changed us.
A mutation was introduced.
Yes, because it's a mutation. Jason absolutely is. Look, when you ask a scientist, "Oh, how do what's RH negative? How did it get here?" Tell them, 40,000. Yeah, Jen, and then this creation pattern, and then this happened. I'm like, they have not freaking clue. I have worked with 5 different hematologists, 3 of which you can go look on the ICAR site today, icar1.com. They're listed there. As a matter of fact, the maps that are on that website from the blood type study are from these guys. These are with 3 of the top hematologists in the planet, and they were telling me the same thing. We don't know why that happened. And when I asked him about all the South America and Central America, I'd have to check, and we'll get Jay to ask Google in a minute. But last on the maps, it was like 96 or 98%. Oh, it's outrageously weird. Yes, it's a fluke, because everywhere else, when you if you're in America and you look at blood types, you're going to see like 36%, O positive, and 33%
I
A
was just looking up.
positive.
It's the most common. Let me see what it said here on the thing.
That's on the map. You can go look for it yourself.
So
yeah, they're listed. All
people
of them are listed on the map.
With O positive blood can donate their blood to all 4 groups, but only to people with the RH positive subgroup, O positive, A positive, B positive, AB positive. Red cells of O negative type can be transfused to all 8 subgroups, which makes it a universal blood type. So that's one thing, but it doesn't.
Well, both O's are useful, though. Either way you go about it. That's what you just
both
read.
those are useful, but it also said it's like the most common, but it didn't say how common. I think it's the.
But on well, people, if you go to ICAR 1, so O positive generally is about 36% of the world's population. That's what it is, or somewhere at 33 to 38, but I think it's 36%. But it's but that's not what it is in South America.
Let me see if I can get that numbers up here. What is the population of Earth by blood type? Let's see what it says. Get some percentages.
Jimmy,
here we go.
Yeah, you crazy, man.
This is a huge article. It's not a graph. That's what I'm kind of looking for. Let me go back to this and go to images. Here we go.
There we go. Let's see what we got.
Oh, and it's blurry.
Okay, here we go. Countries like Ecuador, Peru, and other countries in South America, their O blood type is 75%. So it's actually come down since we originally posted the maps. Now that may be just being them because this over here, I just lost it. Damn it.
Yeah, this one I can't read. It's all blurred. Oh, here we go. Maybe this one's readable.
No, because Google wants to give me what Google thinks I want to read. It's not the question I asked.
This one sent me to Facebook. I don't want to go to Facebook. Get out of here.
No, I asked a simple question. Percentage of O blood in South America and Central America. That's pretty
here we go.
Question.
Here we go. See if I can get this picture bigger. It doesn't give numbers, but oh shit.
What's that, Gene? No, it's an abnormally high amount of oh, you know what? Screw this. Hold on. No, we're doing this the hard way. No, we're doing this the hard way.
I'm getting it on the screen right now.
Get out of here.
Do you see that?
Wait, hold on, I'm coming. I'm on like 5 million pages away at the moment. I'm just clicking the link up. All right, let me go back to where Jay is at.
That's too big. Okay, so O positive is red. There you go. That's the bulk of the planet. A positive is orange. Looks like Europe and a few places here in India, in the Middle East. B positive. I don't see it really anywhere. Well, maybe right here. Yeah, these two spots. That's B positive. Here's some more A positive. And then no data. Look at that. In Central Plains of Africa. And over here.
Okay.
So O positive is number one. And I'd say that's more than 36%.
Yeah. On here it says O positive 37%.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
36%, which costs 9%, 3%, 7%, 6%. O negative is 7%. A negative is 6%.
Yeah,
B negative
within
is
the U.S. It's close. It's very close to some other areas, but 37.4% O positive, 35.7 A positive, and only 8.5 are B positive.
So let me see what this says. Part 2, eye color and contactees. Green hazel eyes make up 39% of the 34,000 contactees that took this thing. O negative, it makes up 60% of the people who out of the 34,000 that took this test. Blue eyes make up 36%. And wow, they definitely like negative blood. Ain't no doubt about that. Nah, Jimmy, I'm on the website, but I gotta go. I just realized there's some things moved around on the website. It's been here a long time. It's not like it's but this wasn't what I was looking for anyway. No, there's a they used to sell a blood type testing kit on the website. They may still do. It's been you know what? Let me find out. I'll find out for you. Oh yeah, they do. Oh no, they don't. You click on the blood type websites and it brings you to GameStop. So whoever used to own a blood type place now owns GameStop. So we got to go fix that. We can't.
Or GameStop bought their website or whatever.
Yeah.
Traffic, whatever. I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, it's funny. Actually, Jack, somewhere, and I don't remember where they put them. I may have to go ask one of the directors. Now there's maps on somewhere on the website for the well, there's a lot of information on the iCar1.com site. It's an old site. This site's 25 years old.
Yeah, it's at least as old as Joe.
It was originally built in 1999. But
oh wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot of, well, this I'm on the Draco. So when you go on it, so you click on the home page, there's a bunch of blah 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 stuff up on there. Things you can click on, stuff you can read about. Oh, I gotta update the copyright. Yeah, see, this one says copyright 2000 to 2018. Yeah, I gotta update the copyright. Uh,
Don't let no one steal your domain.
iCar wants you. iCar1.com. Yeah. So let's see. So you got home. Well, if you go up top, you got audio links, video links, photographs, T-shirts, the Hill case, the Now Project, which is the one Demi was working on when she got cancer. Ancient Aliens, which I'm assuming. Oh yeah, Ancient Aliens is when I was on Ancient Aliens, and it was yapping in my ear just now. Oh, we were talking about the Joe Montaldo and Melinda Leslie discussing Mill Labs interviewed on Coast to Coast. Oh, I miss Kevin Smith, man. It's oh, I miss Kevin Smith, guys. I'm sorry. There's interviews with him and I and Melinda Leslie. Now, these are actually on the website. You just go over there and click on them and listen. No, I got to go through it. But if anybody goes through, finds any broken links or any problems, just send them to me. Yeah, I don't mind fixing them. Yeah. Well, the Hill case is interesting. It's up there. So if you go, why is it on there? Get out of the way. I got to go work on the site, damn. So the Betty and Barney Hill case, if you go over there and you look up the Betty and Barney Hill case on our site, you will see a rather heated debate between myself and Kathleen Maldron about her book. Oh, yes, it's the letter between her and I. You can read the whole thing. I made it public because I didn't want anybody, because she had started saying shit that I never said. So I said, you know what? Watch this shit. I just publicized the letter. Don't tell me, because I either write to you or call you an audio. One way or another, I'm going to have the conversation. I wasn't even putting up with that. Actually, part of the rebuttal, Linda's actually involved in the part of the rebuttal. Yeah. Yes. Linda is an evil extraterrestrial. She's human in disguise, but she's a gray. Shh, don't say anything. If she hears y'all, it's gonna be on. I'm just telling you, be careful. I don't want to see nobody getting, you know what. So you got contact us, Drake Equation, frequently asked questions, ICAR Associates, ICAR articles, ICAR questionnaires, ICAR forms. We got forms out the Boo Boo Yang, ICAR investigations. Well, the forms are intentionally long because they're abduction forms, and we want you to be thorough, and we want you not to be bullshitting us. Some guy named Joe Montaldo, Star Child stuff, UFO Undercover, Valley Table. What's bothering me is I can't seem to find the blood type maps. It's bugging me bad.
Like what to test for blood type, or like
no. We had a set of maps on the website that showed the dispersion of blood around the world. Yeah, because I was reading about South America again just now. Yeah, it's still like 88% O blood in South America and Central America, which is odd because it's not like that anywhere else in the world. And they've had a lot of strange contact down there.
Specifically local, yeah. Well, I mean, but you want to put that map up. I mean, there were some, like the B positive and A positive has some pretty, I'd say, isolated regions where those genetic patterns or that blood pattern shows up. So why is that? Is that because of preference of where to live? I don't know.
Oh, I gotta fix the donation page, man. There's all kinds of stuff broke over here, people. Y'all gotta tell me this kind of stuff. Why ain't been on this page in forever? I hate to think I haven't been on Alien Enigma in forever either. So, yeah, we own a site called alienenigma.org and .com. I'll tell you a little secret about this site. I posted a site in 1998 for one reason. I knew I was going to be getting public in the field, and I knew I had personal experiences, but I didn't want to talk about my personal experience because that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for research. So I didn't, but I knew sooner or later it was going to get out. Either I was going to slip up or somebody else who knew about it was going to say something. So I made a public page, alienenigma.org and alienenigma.com. And there's stuff that's happened to me personally and things I've talked about personally that are published there, along with pictures and other stuff. Yeah, and that way, when this happened, I was on stage in DC in 2009, and it's like he says, "You're just jumping on the bandwagon," And I heard somebody in the back of the audience go, alienenigma.org, dumb, whatever. And because you could go over there and see it when I had posted it. And right off the bat, you knew, okay, well, no, he's not jumping on. He was there ahead of everybody. Because sometimes it's just better not to say things, people. There's abduction criteria. I think there's 25 of the 50. We actually use more abduction criteria than that now. But let's see. The awakening, what causes the awakening, that information's on there. Person will notice they have lost time or gain time. Yes, that's the start of the introducing of gain time was right there. That's when we started introducing it. That's 25 years ago. That's how long it's been out there. Yeah. And it's taken that long just for it to catch on. Sleepwalking, sleep driving, finding dirt, sand in your car, extra mileage, don't know where it came from, sand on your clothes in your bed because you've been places that, you can't remember.
Right.
Electronic beam to
Park the
turn
car with a full tank. The next day, the tank is empty.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. You go blaming your kid and you're like, I was sound asleep there. What are you talking about? Electronics seem to turn off or not to work correctly when you're around them. The sense of being watched or followed even when there's no one around. Oh, no. In the old days, I don't know if it's still on the site or not, but it used to mention about rabbit ears. Contactees can control rabbit ears.
Yeah.
So they could get off and make the signal go crazy, but they could actually put their hand up and actually make the signal tune in. Yeah,
so if I in the back of the day we had our TV, it had rabbit ears, and oftentimes they would break. You'd have to put tinfoil around one of them. But if I walked by it, the TV would go. When I came back out of because the laundry room was behind the TV, so I'd go in and then come out, it would go fuzz. And if we got over a lost signal, they would always ask me to touch the antenna because we get instant clear signal. And I'm like, I don't want to stand here the whole time. I want to watch too. So it kind of sucked.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna read through this real quick because we're already like 6 after. So where was I? Since being much. Okay. Meeting strangers who say they know you and you have a sense you have met them before. A lot of times in those meetings you'll recognize things like clothes or smells or sounds or face things. Yes, because you've seen them and you've seen these people before, probably on board a ship. And probably dressed however they were. And they're not always dressed all kind and cute. Sometimes
you're used to their
underwear.
Familiar habits. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it depends when they were taking. If they were taking when they sleep, well, you don't want them taking me when I sleep. You better hope I'm wearing shorts. I'm just saying. A lot of other people might just be in underwear and t-shirt or something, or just underwear. A lot of people might be in pajamas. Some people can be dressed because they're out and about or whatever's going on.
Don't wear anything though. So
that's right. So
be surprised.
The birthday people. Anyway, bruises, scoop marks, indications that look like indentions that look like finger marks, triangle shapes on the skin, puncture marks that seem to just fade away without any real damage, a family history of alien abduction, childhood dreams of strange encounters of non-human beings. I don't know why they put non-human beings in there, but I guess they had to for some reason.
Do they have imaginary friend on there?
They probably do somewhere. I know it's talked about because we discuss it a great deal on other things. Detailed descriptions of extraterrestrials such as hands or feet, skin color, meeting people who say they have contact with aliens and feeling a connection to them. People who just come up and tell you they've had contact with aliens and you feeling a connection to them, which is also weird. The person has seen a craft. The person has seen an alien in their home. A sense of something or someone is coming, that something's getting ready to happen. You can sense it coming. They know who's on the phone when it rings or calls. Yeah, that's just a telepathy part of you. Yeah. But that's from being a contactee. So,
but we should specify that particular one was probably also pre-caller ID.
Yeah, that's pretty caller ID. Sense of something or someone is coming for you, or that something has happened, but you can't remember that. A new understanding of the world and knowledge above your formal education. That's key for contactees, by the way. That's one we weren't going to make public. That was debated amongst the organization for quite some time, actually. Because contactees possess knowledge above their formal education, even their formal upbringing or their regular going through life, how you accumulate knowledge from whatever things you do in life. This seems to be above that. This is a type of knowledge that you should have had to go to college to get. And sometimes it's on a plane that's really above anything you're going to find locally. Well, just to put it in perspective, like a universe in a nutshell. You've heard of it. You know what it is. Okay. It's a book for physics for layman's by Einstein. But yet somehow you know everything that's in the book, but you've never even touched the book. Yes, that's common with contactees. And not just books like that, all sorts of stupid stuff. Well, because some of it's just meaningless, stupid stuff. Yeah, because that's what it is. It's just random stuff that happens. Yeah. And, blood type RH negative seems to be taken more. So that increases the chance of you being taken as an abductee or being abducted. Sorry. Eye color is the same as the blood types. Eye colors are taken, but it seems green and blue stand a better chance of being taken, even though brown outnumbers green and blue like 15-1. Yeah, like 88% of everybody on the planet is freaking brown eyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's when and green, usually green's like 2%. Blues, I think blue's high though. Blue's like 8 or 12, 8 or 10, something
Hey,
like
Google, what's the population of the planet by eye color?
that. You just gave her a
Brown eyes are
headache.
the most common, accounting for 70% to 80%
Oh, it
of
went
the world's
down.
population.
80%, yeah.
Blue eyes follow at 8% to 10%, while hazel and amber eyes each make up about 5%. Gray eyes are found in roughly 3% of people, and green eyes are among the rarest, at about 2%.
Yeah.
Other colors or conditions like heterochromia account for the remaining 1%.
Yeah, you were right. It's gone up. You said green was 1%. It's 2% now.
No, green's always been 2%, but what's gone, it's changed.
What did you say went up?
Oh no, so the brown eyes went down. So
Yeah.
this bothered me though, because they said, okay, green's 2% and blue was 8%, so that's only 10%. And then they said something else. But when they said about
The
brown
remaining
eyes,
1% is heterochromia.
yeah, they said
Blue eye color.
70, they said 70 to 80%. So we're gonna go to high side and say 80% of everybody's brown eyed. That still doesn't account for the full percent. They're still short like 8%. So I'm thinking it's more like 88% are brown eyed.
Yeah.
Well, no, Jack. So when she said it, listen, I'll work it for you. She said 2%, 4%. That's 6%.
I can get it to
8%
repeat it.
is 14%. Yeah, that's those three, the ones we're talking about. And then she said 80%. So 14 and 80 would be 94. She's off by 6%.
Yeah. Well, that's probably
the brown eye.
Anyway.
So yeah, it's probably the brown eye. So it's probably about 86%. But regardless, 80, it's come down. It used to be much higher. It used to be in the 90s. And now she, it sounds like it's headed for the 70s. Yeah, well, just tell you, blue eyes are coming along, or somebody's colored eyes.
This is the alpha timeline, Heidi. You have entered reality again.
Yes. What was it, Jack? No, having knowledge of the inside of the craft and its workings. Knowledge of things like blue plasma, the shape of eyes, the size of the eyes, the skin color.
Like the Fremen.
Only things, only things a
Yeah.
real contactee is going to know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the funny thing is, like, you said they would know how to work the system. It's like the Fremen, when they see Paul Atreides, like, he will know your ways as it born to them. And they get all, like, godly affected.
Yes, experiments done to them. Does their spouse feel or see anything? How does the pets react? Have their children experienced anything or seen anything? You know damn good well they have. Do they remember seeing Earth from space? Scars from surgery that completely heal, but you have no memory of them ever having an operation. That's 25 out of 50. And no, that's more. But that's only ones we're going to give you public. All the rest are private. Well, of course, got to keep some things private so one knows what the hell's going on. Now, the Valley tables on the website, you can go look at it for yourself. Anomaly, AN1, AN2, all that's up there. MA1, FB1, CR rating. No, it gives you the rating. So, no, AN rating classifies as any anomalous behavior. MA rating, yes. Describes behaviors of a UFO. Yeah. FA rating, a sighting of a UFO traveling in a straight line. FB2 rating, accompanied by physical evidence. FB3, yeah, see, these go on and on. CE4, close encounters rating. And so the CE, and then it's E1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. CE4 and 5 is when you actually make contact.
But I think they added 5. The original list from Alan Hynek was close encounters 1 through 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, Jay's right. It was 1 through 4. It just says C5, C4.
They've added 2. I think it's up to 6 now, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I have not updated this list, so I don't want to say.
How many categories on the close encounters list are there now? Is it 4 or 6?
It looks like you don't have any lists.
Hey, Google.
You're a dumbass.
The internet. On the list of close encounters for UFOs, how many different categories are listed?
Yeah, tell a close encounter rating, CE rating.
There are 5 categories in the close encounters of UFO scale.
It's still the same. Okay. Then they got the SVP rating, the all important credibility rating. That's what that is. 0 unknown source, report attributed to known source, reliable source firsthand personnel with other witnesses. And then the site visit rating. Oh man, this thing, I gotta go get on the site and do some work, Jay, man. What the hell, man? Things are shrinking stuff on here. It amazes me how internet stuff just moves around on its own.
Yeah, to make space for memory or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, we ought to get going because
we got to go because Michelle's going to get mad and angry and hurt Jay. Anyway, guys and girls, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank you again for tuning in United Public Radio and UFO Undercover. There's all kind of stuff in the show. We'll probably pick this topic up next week because we only got about 25% through it. I don't know.
One of our favorite things to talk about anyway. So
yeah, well, I mean, maybe we'll do something and add the origins in. Yeah, because I like talking about ancient origins and how we got here, but. Well, this new theory about how humans became in these cities that Jay and I are working on in these oceans and space and stuff are really fascinating. So we may do some more research on that. Let y'all do some research with us. So think about that. If you got any ideas, write to us or pop into the show and say something. But again, on that note, I'm going to thank everyone for tuning in United Public Radio. Friday's going to probably be humdinger. We'll get some pretty good links, some pretty good clips.
Yeah.
Some other bad stuff that people have been bad. We're gonna be playing that song, Son of a Bee. Yeah. And the Highway 95 song, we'll be playing that too. Yes. Oh, yes.
What about bomb Iran?
We might be playing that too. Because we're gonna be bombing Iran again. On that note, good night, everybody, and stay tuned for The Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche.
It's on now.
The Empress herself.
Good night.